Welcome dear students for grade 7 maths class of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4, Nigambu branch. So today our lesson is unit 14 in your textbook, that is rectilinear plane figures. So in your textbook this lesson is divided into two parts. So I am going to cover both sessions in this video. So let's start the lesson. Right. So in this lesson mainly we are going to discuss about polygons. So what is a polygon? Polygon is a closed rectilinear plane figure bounded by straight line segments. Now you all can see I have taken two figures here. In these two figures you all can see both the figures are having closed figures. It's not open. At the same time both are having straight line segments. No any curved lines can be seen here. It's all are straight. And also it's a closed figure. It should be a plane figure. It's not three-dimensional. It should be a plane figure bounded by three or more straight line segments. So here you all can see three sides are there. And here you have more than three sides. So we can't draw a plane figure or a polygon. We can't draw a polygon less than three sides. So the minimum number of sides for you to draw a polygon is, that is 3. Okay. Right. Let's see what are the features of a polygon. So as we discussed in the previous part, for it to become a polygon, always it should be a closed figure. It should be a closed figure. At the same time, it should have straight lines, no curved lines. It has straight lines and has more than two sides. Okay, we can't draw a figure. We can't draw a polygon with two sides. Let's see whether we can draw it. So think that you have two straight lines like this. We can't close the figure with two lines. So the minimum number is you should have at least three straight sides. So for it to become a polygon, always it should have more than two sides. Next, third feature, forms a closed plane figure. Always it should be a closed one. Think of a polygon like this. It's not closed. It's an open figure, so it's not a polygon. Right. Next feature has no curve or round edges or corners. Now think of a circle. It has a curved line. It has a curved line, but we can't consider the circle as a polygon. Why? Because it is having curved edges or curved lines. And think of a diagram like this. Two straight lines and a curved line. But we can't consider both of the figures here as polygons. They are non-polygons. Okay, so no curve or round edges. Last one, it has no intersecting lines. No intersecting lines. That means sides don't cross. So look at this figure. Look at this figure like this. It has straight sides, straight lines. It's also a closed figure. But you have to check here. These two straight lines intersect. So such figures, such diagrams cannot be considered as polygons. For it to become a polygon, always the sides should not intersect. Sides should not intersect like this. No intersection should be there. So even this cannot be considered as a polygon. So those are the features of a polygon. It should be always straight lines and more than two sides. It should always be a closed one and no curved edges or corners, and also no intersecting lines. Right. So here you all can see some examples of polygons as well as some examples for non-polygons. So here you all can see in the first set of polygons, all are having closed figures and also all are having straight line segments. And here starting with the minimum number of sides, that is 3 sides. Okay, here you can see 4 sides, 5 sides, likewise it goes, the number of sides increase here. And also you all can see all the features are satisfied in these set of examples. Right, then second one, examples for non-polygons. So in here you all can see, as I told earlier, circles. We can't consider them as polygons. Why? They are having curved edges. Okay, and then any shape that includes a curve cannot be considered as a polygon. Right, third one, you can see this figure is not closed. It's an open figure, so we can't consider them as a polygon. Last one, three-dimensional objects cannot be considered as polygons. Always for it to become a polygon, it should have only two sides. We call it as two-dimensional. So here it's a three-dimensional object, so we can't consider them as polygons. Right. Next we'll move to names of polygons based on number of sides. Now we discussed in the previous part what are polygons, and polygons may vary according to the number of sides. So there are specific names given for polygons according to the number of sides it has. So we told earlier the polygon which is having minimum number of sides should be 3. So 3 sides. If a polygon is having 3 sides, we give a special name called triangle. So tri means always 3. So if it is having 3 sides, we call it as a triangle. Next, if it is having 4 sides, we call it as a quadrilateral. Quadra means 4. So we give the name for the polygon as quadrilateral. 5 sides, pentagon. So here the meaning penta means 5. The meaning penta means 5. Okay, likewise it goes. We can give specific names. Hexagon, that is for 6 sides. If it is having 7 sides, we give a special name heptagon. Hepta means 7. 8 sides, octagon. If it is having 9 sides, we call it as the nonagon. If it is having 10 sides, we give a special name, that is decagon. Likewise, all can give specific names. If it is having 12 sides, we can give the name as dodecagon. So these are the special names given to the polygons according to the number of sides it has. Okay. So tri means always 3, quadra means always 4. So likewise, all can remember the terms for each and every polygon according to the sides. Right, let's move to a small activity. I have given this in the study pack worksheet also, so you all can do the corrections while I am doing this. So here you have to check whether these figures here, you are given 10 figures, you all have to select whether these are polygons or non-polygons. So we will see what are the polygons and what are the non-polygons, and if it is not a polygon, you all have to mention the reason given in the space. So first figure you all can see it is a polygon. Why? It is closed, at the same time all are straight lines, and two-dimensional object, two-dimensional figure. So it's a closed one, so it's a polygon. So we can mention it as a polygon. So it's a polygon. Second figure, it's a circle. Can we consider it as a polygon? No. Why? It is having a curved edge, so we can't consider it as a polygon. So answer is a non-polygon. It is a non-polygon. Right. Third figure you all can see it's a closed one. At the same time all are straight line segments, but here you all can see an intersection point is there. Two sides will intersect at a point. So if the lines are going to intersect, we are not going to consider them as polygons. So again it will become a non-polygon. So you all can write the reason here. Here the reason is a curved line can be seen. Here the reason is intersecting lines present. So I'm only defining whether it's a polygon or a non-polygon. You all have to write the reason. So it's a non-polygon. Fourth one, again you all can see 4 sides, closed one, straight lines. So it's a polygon. Right. Fifth one, you all can see it is having, let's count the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides present. All are straight lines and the figure is closed, so we can consider it as a polygon. Right. Next figure given, sixth one, you can see 3 straight lines are there, but check whether it's a closed one. No, you all can see there is a small opening here. All the 3 sides are not closed. So, can we consider them as a polygon? No. Again, it will become a non-polygon. So, you all have to write the reason why it's an open figure. It's a non-polygon. You all have to write the reason why open figure. 7th figure, 3 sides, we call it as a triangle. So, it's a polygon. It's a closed one, at the same time all are straight lines. So, we can consider them as a polygon. 8th one, 2 straight lines are there, but you all can see a curved line. So, it will become a non-polygon. And the last, not the last, and before the last, here you all can see 5 sides are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, all are straight lines and it's a closed one. Again, we can write it as a polygon. Okay, the last one. Again, 3 sides. It's a closed one. Straight lines can be seen. So, we will give a special name called triangle. So, it will become a polygon. Right. Next, we'll move to another activity. So, there you all have some figures, plain figures, polygons are given. You all have to count the number of sides and write the name of the polygon type according to the sides. So, as we discussed, I told that there are different names given to the polygons according to the sides. So, in this activity, we are going to identify the polygons according to the sides and then write the name of the polygon type. Okay, let's start. So, in the first one, you have to count the number of sides here. So, let's start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, number of sides are 5. So, what's the name given for that polygon having 5 sides? We call it as a pentagon. So, it's a pentagon. Right. Second figure you all can see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start from one vertex. Okay, then you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, if it is having 8 sides, we give the special name that is what? Octagon. Okay. Third one, again have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, what's the special name? That is a nonagon. So, likewise, we can continue the activity. Fourth one, you all can see 4 sides are there. So, what's the special name given? It's a quadrilateral. Right. Here also, you all have to count. So, let's start from one vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides are there. 7 sides are there. So, what's the special name? That's a heptagon. So, I hope the activity is clear. So, you all can continue the rest of the figures. You have to identify the polygon type by counting the number of sides. Okay, let's move to the next part, that is convex polygons and concave polygons. So, what are convex polygons and what are concave polygons? How can we identify those types, those two types? Okay, so first one, convex polygon. So, you all can see a figure given. There you have how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides are there. It's a closed figure, so it's a polygon. So, how we can identify it as a convex polygon? So, for it to become a convex polygon, always you have to check the interior angles. What do you call interior angles? Interior angles are the angles located inside a polygon. So, here you all can see it is bounded by straight lines. So, the point at which two lines meet. So, this is an angle. So, this is where an angle is formed. Likewise, there are 6 angles in this figure, always according to the number of sides. It has 6 sides, therefore it has 6 interior angles. So, here you have to check the interior angles at first. And then you have to observe whether all interior angles are less than 180. That means if it is greater than 180 degrees, 180 degrees means it's a straight line. We did that in the angles lesson. So it is always 180. If it is greater than 180 degrees, it will become a reflex angle like this. If it is greater than 180, so if it is a straight line like this, if it is greater than 180, it will go like this. So we call it as a reflex angle. So if a polygon does not have any of the reflex angles inside the angles or interior angles, then we can specify that type of polygons as convex. So in this figure you all can see all angles are less than 150, which means there are no reflex angles. So this polygon will become a convex polygon. So what about the concave polygon? So in a concave polygon there will be reflex angles. It might be 1 or more than 1. Right? So you all can see, check the figure here. You can observe there are some interior angles greater than 180. So this is less than 180. This is also an obtuse angle. So this is also not a reflex angle. This is also not a reflex. This is also not. But here you all can see at this vertex, if I draw the line like this, it will be the straight line. But you all can see it's greater than 180. That means there's a reflex angle formed at this vertex. One interior angle is a reflex angle. So if you have at least one or more than one, we give a special name, that is a concave polygon. So that is the way of identifying convex polygons and concave polygons. Right, there's another way of identifying convex polygons and concave polygons. That is, if you consider 2 points inside the polygon. So let's think, I'm going to consider this point. I'm going to consider this point and this point. Okay, it is inside this polygon. Right, if I join those 2 points using a straight line, if I join these 2 points using a straight line, you all can see the straight line lies inside the polygon. It does not intersect the sides. Okay, it is inside the polygon. But when you consider this figure, if you consider 2 points, right, if I consider these 2 points and if I join them, that lies inside the polygon. But what about these 2 points? If I consider these 2 points, you all can see these sides intersect. The straight line is not inside the polygon. You all can see the polygon shape is in this way. But this side is outside the polygon. So if you are having figures like this, that means if you consider any 2 points, not this point, right? Any points. If I consider this point and this point, again you all can see it's outside the polygon, the straight line. So if any 2 points inside a polygon forms a straight line in a way to intersect the sides. So we can't consider them as a convex polygon. Therefore, it will become a concave polygon. So that is another way of identifying convex and concave polygons. So previous one we just considered the reflex angle formation at the interior angles, but here we are going to consider 2 points, whether the straight line joining those 2 points will intersect the side or not. Right, there's a small activity for you all. So this given in your study pack also. So you all can do the corrections while I'm doing this. So you have to identify the convex and concave polygons looking at the angles. So first one you all can see a reflex angle is there. So if it is having a reflex angle, always it will become a concave polygon. It's a concave polygon. Second one, no reflex angles, all the angles are less than 180, so it will become a convex polygon. Third one, again you all can see some reflex angles are there. One reflex angle at this vertex and there is another reflex angle at this vertex. 2 reflex angles are there, so it will become a concave polygon. concave polygon. Okay. Fourth one, no reflex angles are there or are less than 180, so it will become a convex polygon. Fifth figure, again you can see two reflex angles are formed at two vertices. This is the first reflex angle formed, and if you consider this vertex also, a reflex angle is formed. So we call it as a concave polygon. Right, next one, you can see all the interior angles are less than 180, no reflex angles, so it will become a convex polygon. Right. Seventh figure, again you can see at this vertex, reflex angle is formed, so it will become a concave polygon. Right, this is also convex, there is no reflex angles are there. Okay, ninth figure, again you can see at this vertex, reflex angle is formed, that means a concave polygon. Concave polygon. Right, 10th figure, you can see no reflex angles formed, therefore it's convex polygon. Right, 11th one, you can see a reflex angle at this vertex, so it will become a concave polygon. Right, the last figure, no reflex angle formation, therefore it's a convex polygon. Okay, so this is these are the answers for the activity. So you can do the corrections by looking at the answers that you have written in the study plan. Right, let's move to the next part, that is regular polygons. Earlier we learnt about polygons, now we are going to discuss about regular polygons. So what are regular polygons? What do you mean by the term regular? Regular means, if we consider a polygon, considering its sides and angles, for it to become a regular polygon, always the sides, all the sides and all the angles are equal. All the sides are equal to each other, all the angles are equal to each other in magnitude. So in this figure you can see, right, so it's like a square, right. Now by looking at this figure, you can't decide it as regular. For it to become regular, there's a symbol that you should use. So we know, though it seems like a square, for it to consider it as a regular figure, all four sides should be equal. So this is the way of representing four sides equal to each other. And also at the same time, we have to check the interior angles. So if you consider the interior angles of a square, you know that all the angles are having a magnitude of 90 degrees. Which means all four are equal to each other. So that is what we can consider it as a regular polygon. So a polygon with all sides equal in length and all angles equal in magnitude is called a regular polygon. Look at this figure. There also you all have to use a symbol. If it is a regular figure, we can represent it like this. All the six sides are equal. All the six sides are equal, and at the same time, all the angles are also equal. All the angles are also equal to each other. They all are having a common magnitude. So those are called as regular polygons. Right, so here you all can see some regular polygons, some pictures of regular polygons. Now earlier we discussed about some different names given to polygons according to the number of sides. So here, for it to become a regular, now you consider a triangle if all the sides are equal. If all the sides are equal, you all can represent it like this. So we give the special name, that is an equilateral triangle. So this is a quadrilateral actually. Quadrilateral means a polygon having four sides. But you know, you consider square, rectangle, rhombus, all are having four sides. So we give the common name as quadrilateral. But if all the four sides are equal and if all the four interior angles are equal, then we give the special name, that is a square. Okay? Then If it is having 5 sides, we call it as pentagon. But if all 5 are equal to each other and all angles are equal, then we call it as a regular pentagon. So likewise, we can identify the figures. If it is having 6 sides, hexagon. So if all are equal, it is a regular hexagon. Right? You have to represent the angles also. If it is 7 sides, we give the special name heptagon. So if all 7 are equal to each other, we call it as a regular heptagon. The next one, if it is 8 sides, we call it as an octagon. If all sides and angles are equal, we call it as a regular octagon. Next, 9 sides is a nonagon. So if all 9 are equal to each other and all angles are equal, we call it as a regular nonagon. Right, decagon, that is 10 sides. So if all 10 are equal, we call it as a regular decagon. Last, if it is having 12 sides, we give the name as dodecagon. So if all sides and angles are equal, we call it as a regular dodecagon. Right. So I have 2 quadrilaterals here. Quadrilateral means what? A polygon having 4 sides. Now you all can see these 2 figures are having 4 sides. Okay. This is also having 4 sides. This is also having 4 sides. So we call them as quadrilaterals. Okay. But according to these 2, by identifying the features, we give special names for these 2 quadrilaterals. Now, in the square, you know all sides are equal. That's why we give the name as square. So here, though it's a quadrilateral, we call this as a rectangle. Why? Opposite sides are equal. And all angles are equal. But opposite sides are equal to each other. Now look at this polygon here. Right? You all can see all angles are 90. Okay. All angles are 90 is a rectangle. But can we consider all sides as equal? No. This side is equal to this side, while this side is equal to the opposite side. So we call opposite sides are equal to each other. Not all sides are equal, but all angles are equal. Now tell me, can we consider this as a regular polygon? Is this a regular polygon? You know that for it to become a regular polygon, okay, for it to become a regular polygon, always all the sides at the same time, all the angles should be equal. But here it's not a regular polygon. Why? Though all angles are equal, sides are different to each other. Only opposite sides are equal. So this is a special type where you can't consider this as a regular polygon. Right, look at the next figure, that's a rhombus. What is a rhombus? Rhombus means it's like a slanted square. It's like a slanted square. Square, all sides are equal. And here also the rhombus, all sides are equal. All 4 sides are equal to each other. But consider the angles. In this square, all 4 angles were having a magnitude of 90 degrees. But rhombus, all 4 angles are different to each other. Opposite angles, right? Only opposite angles are equal. That means this angle is equal to this angle. You all can see with the shape, right? But this angle is equal to this angle. All 4 are not equal. Only opposite angles are equal. So again, can we consider this as a regular polygon? No. Why? It's not a regular polygon. Rhombus is not a regular polygon. Okay, rhombus is not a regular polygon. You have to write the reason why. All the angles are not equal. All 4 angles are not equal. Only sides are equal. Here, sides are equal. Sides equal. But what about the angles? Are they equal? No, angles are not equal. Therefore, it's not a regular polygon. Here, sides are not equal. Sides are not equal. But what about the angles? All 4 angles are equal. So you should know, for it to become a regular polygon, always these 2 conditions should be satisfied. Both conditions should be satisfied. Right children, now we are moving to the second part of rectilinear plane figures. So we have discussed about the first part, that we mainly discuss about different types of polygons. So here, rectilinear plane figures part 2, we are going to discuss about triangles. So we know that a triangle is also a polygon. What is the special thing about the triangle? It is having only 3 sides. So a triangle is a polygon formed with 3 straight line segments. Okay, so you all can see a figure here, a polygon. All 3 are straight sides and it's a closed figure, so we call it as a polygon. At the same time, since it is having 3 sides, we call it as a triangle. Tri means 3, so we give the name triangle. Right. Now there are some features, so we call this as elements of the triangle. In a triangle, there are sides, there are vertices, there are angles. So we call those 3 as elements in a triangle. Okay. So what are sides here? What are the sides here? These are the sides. So if I name this triangle as A, B and C. Let's name the triangle as A, B, C. What are the sides here? 3 sides are there. So we can name the sides as AB, AB, AC and the third remaining side, that is BC. Okay, those are the 3 sides. So what about the vertices? Vertices means these points at which 2 straight lines intersect. So there are 3 vertices. They are A, B and C. So those are the vertices. And next, angles. There are 3 angles. These are the 3 angles. How can we name the angles? There are 2 ways of naming the angles. The first one is you all can name the angle like this. If you are representing this A angle, you all can denote like this. Or there is another way of writing or representing that angle. That is BAC or CAB. If you want to represent this angle, you can start from the other vertex, but it should come at middle, BAC angle. So that's a way of naming angles, right? So we can name the rest of the angles also like this or the other way. That is BAC. That is ABC angle. ABC angle. Likewise, if you want to represent C angle, ACB angle. So those are the elements in a triangle. So those are the ways of naming the angles in a triangle, right? Let's move to the last part of the lesson, that is triangle classification. There are different types of triangles that we can classify based on 2 features in a triangle. Now we discuss about the elements and sides, vertices and angles. Considering the sides and angles. Considering the sides and angles in a triangle, we can classify triangles into 2 main types. Okay? Right. The first type is based on sides. So if a triangle is having 3 sides equal to each other, if all 3 sides are equal, we give the special name, that is equilateral triangle. So you all can see the figure how we can denote that using this symbol equal mark. Right, the second type based on side, that is if 2 sides are equal. If 2 equal sides are there, here all 3 are equal. If 2 equal sides are there, we give the special name, that is isosceles triangle. Third type, according to that classification, if no sides are equal to each other, all 3 are different to each other, we call it as a scalene triangle. Right, that's the classification based on sides. Now we'll move to the classification based on angles. So here you all can see again 3 angles are there. The first type is acute angle triangle. So you know what an acute angle is. Acute angle means an angle less than 90 degrees. So a triangle formed using 3 acute angles. All 3 are less than 90, you all can see. So that we give the special name to those types as acute angled triangles. Second type, right angle triangle. So in a right angle triangle, you know what a right angle is. Right angle means where you have a magnitude of 90 degrees. So in a right angle triangle, one angle is 90, the other 2 are acute angles. Third type, obtuse angle triangle. So obtuse angle means an angle less than 90 degrees but less than 180. So in obtuse angle triangle, one angle is having an obtuse angle while the other 2 are acute angles. So children, this is the main classification based on sides and angles. So that is the end of the lesson, but we'll do a small activity before ending the lesson. Right? Right, look at this one. Right. Consider all three sides are having 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters. So even you can denote it using this symbol. So what is the type of the triangle? That's a equilateral triangle. Right. Consider another triangle like this. 7 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and consider this as 3 centimeters. So what is the name given to those types of triangles? That is an isosceles triangle. By the third type, consider a triangle like this. This is 7 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 3 centimeters, here 5 centimeters. Okay. You all can see all three sides are different to each other, not like the previous two. So what is that triangle? That is a scalene triangle. Okay, next. Consider this triangle. 60 degrees, 60 degrees, and 60 degrees like this. So you all can see all three angles are, though all are equal. Consider that angle, right? All three are less than 90 degrees. So we call it as an acute angle triangle. Right, consider this 90 degrees, 50, 40. You all can see one right angle, other two are acute angles. So we call it as a right angle triangle. Right. So you all can see 120 means an obtuse angle, and you all can see by looking at this shape, they are less than 90, which means acute angles. So you all can see this is an acute angle triangle, right angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle, equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, and a scalene triangle. So children, that's the main classification based on sides and angles. So that's the end of our lesson, rectilinear plane figures. So thank you very much. Let's meet with a new lesson in a video. Thank you.